Up there.
How do we get back, man?
Check. Just wanted to say a quick hello. Jay Mullings from Red Mirror, aka Wicked Penman. Thank you for joining me for yet another Twitch session. But yeah, let's do it. Anyone into boxing? Who's gonna win the fight, AJ or Usyk? Oleksandr Usyk versus Anthony Joshua. Well, Olafemi. But, you know, whatever. Calls himself AJ, it's AJ. I wonder if he could go back and do things differently if he would have taken Olafemi as his name. Or is it just a thing where, from a marketing standpoint, he knew that Anthony would work better? I don't know. I guess that's the kind of thing, if you ever... that might actually be an uncomfortable question to ask him, isn't it? Like, I know you call yourself Anthony Joshua, but that's not really your first name. Would you, if you could go back and do your career over again, would you go with the name that you were given? Would you be Olafemi? And see what he would say. My man's gonna win. Who's your man? Usyk. And how much you gonna put down on it? Like, you're gonna put what round or whatever, you're gonna put some money down on it. Do you know what? I used to like a bit of cheeky gambling here and there, put some money down on something. I can't tell you the last time I placed a bet on anything. I've never played the lottery, by the way, as well. That's another thing. I've never in my life played the lottery. Never. Not even when I was in Jamaica, not even cash pot. Nope. My dream to one lizard last night. I want number for lizard. Nope. I wasn't doing none of that shit. None of it. But I could predict that shit. I could tell you what number's gonna play, but I ain't playing it. But yeah, that's mad still. Because I used to, like, you know what I mean? At the beginning of the season, put a cheeky pound down on someone that you don't think, like, well, sometimes you would make bets that you think had a chance of winning. Other times you would just make bets where you're like imagine if you put a pound on, what's her name? Raducanu, the girl that won the US Open when she was a qualifier. You'd be laughing. She has to have been 100,000 to 1 or something. Something where if you put £10 on her, you'd be a millionaire, I swear. I'm feeling dangerous, gonna put a £1 bet on. What, in the casino in Grand Theft Auto? I don't know. Well, I hope AJ wins, you know, just obviously because we're repping. But yeah, he's up against, I'd say when you think of cruiserweight, so again, if people aren't like all the way clued up on boxing, cruiserweight is the weight division below heavyweight. So there's a weight limit in the cruiserweight division. Obviously there's no weight limit in heavyweight. After you go past that weight limit for cruiserweight, it's up into the heavyweight territory. So usually fighters who are good at cruiserweight, they have the opportunity to go and fight guys who are bigger and heavier because they usually carry the speed advantage, sometimes the footwork advantage, and then if you got a strong enough punch, then you count yourself against the heavyweight because they're basically a slower, bigger target to hit. The only problems where cruiserweights generally struggle, the ones who aren't like absolutely great, is that size difference. It's different when someone a lot heavier than you starts leaning on you, putting their weight on you, and then even if they haven't got the highest punch, like the strongest punch, it still hurts a lot more if someone knows how to leverage a punch because they're heavier. You know, mass times speed gives you power. Anyway, but yeah, when we think of like cruiserweights, like there's really Evander Holyfield is I didn't even like having to speak about Holyfield because of that ridiculous fight I saw the other day, but he was like the most famous cruiserweight in history. I'd say, at least. I can't think of anyone. When you think of cruiserweights, you definitely think of Evander Holyfield. He's the one that basically went from being top dog at cruiserweight to, you know, doing some dangerous bits in the heavyweight division. I think, was James Toney ever a cruiserweight? I think so. James Toney might have been another. Wait, where did James Toney start? Because I know his career was definitely one. That's a real interesting story. James Lights Out Toney. If anyone wants to go look him up, look at the size he started and then look at the size he finished. But anyway, David Haye was another well-regarded cruiserweight. Different era, of course. So I'd still give the edge to, if prime David Haye fought prime Holyfield, I'd still give the edge to Holyfield. So then you've got Oleksandr Usyk, who is the undisputed cruiserweight champion. So he's basically cleaned out the Division 1 every belt there is. That's the kind of pedigree he has. So when you're really thinking of cruiserweights or famous cruiserweights, you've got Holyfield, Usyk, and then maybe you might think of David Haye. Maybe. That's it. And two of those went on to be world champions. So it's there for Usyk to do. He's only had 18 fights, so he's fresh in that sense. He's had a long amateur career. He's someone who hasn't lost a fight in yonks. Like, it's not a joke fight for AJ. AJ has the size advantage. AJ has the height advantage. AJ has the reach advantage. AJ has the experience at heavyweight advantage. But Usyk is not a mug. So good, it should be a good fight. Usyk moves really well. You know, people talk about like Tyson Fury's movement, right? And it defies logic the way how Tyson Fury is able to move at the size he is. It's a massive, massive man, tall, both in height and weight, but he's able to kind of gracefully move around the ring, hand speed, the whole lot. Usyk is, I'd say he's the best second. He's got to be the second best mover in those weight classes, definitely, for sure. If anyone can move like as well as or better than Tyson Fury, it has to be Oleksandr Usyk. So he's got that going for him. Whether AJ can kind of keep him at bay or not, who knows? Nah, has to be Baki. Baki's a mixed martial arts fighter though, so it wouldn't be a fair. You mean like you need like Muhammad Ali Jr. Oh, they made that. I swear that now that you mention that, like just remembering that character, I swear they made him just to shit on him. That character was useless. Oh man. But yeah, that guy took a series of beatings. Muhammad Ali Jr., how many fights does this guy lose on the trot? He lost, I think it was 4 or 5 fights, like one after the other, just kept getting his ass handed to him. And they like tried to build it up that he would somehow be able to stand up to Baki. And I'm like, if he's losing to these underlings that Baki would wipe the floor with, why do they think he's gonna be Baki's strongest test? Like, shut the my man got stomped out, and I was just like, nah, this is racism, right? Why is the black character so weak, and why is he taking so many ass beatings? Why is he getting beaten 5 times in a row? Nah, I'm not having it. Anyway, back to what I'm saying. Usyk he has merit. He has merit. Oh, it was a microcosm for oppression. Oh my god.